Point out to you something very interesting about the ministry of Jesus. In John chapter 6, when Jesus fed the 5,000, verse 11 it says, Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to the disciples to those sitting down. Jesus did not pray. All he did was give thanks. And giving thanks over 5 loaves and 2 fishes made them sufficient to feed 5,000 people. And a little further on, in John 6:23, it says, other boats came from Tiberias near the place where they ate bread after the Lord had given thanks. What released the miracle? Giving thanks. And then praise. Psalm 8 verse 2, God says, out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, he has appointed praise that he may silence the enemy and the avenger. Who's the enemy and the avenger? Satan, that's right. Why does he need to be silenced? What is he doing all the time? He's accusing us before the throne of God. Why doesn't God silence him? Because God says, I've given you the weapons to silence him. In Acts 16, Paul and Silas were in prison, the maximum security jail, bound hand and foot, and at midnight they prayed and praised, and God sent an earthquake that released the whole prison contingent and opened every door. What released that earthquake? Praise, that's right. And then proclamation. This is the one that Ruth and I are majoring on these days. You see, Moses was called by God to go and deliver Israel out of Egypt. And he said, God, I don't have anything. God said, what's that in your hand? He said, that's just my shepherd's staff. God said, throw it down on the ground, and it became a snake. Moses ran from his own staff. He didn't realize the power he had in his hand. God said to him, all you need to deliver Israel is that one staff. Go back and use it. And if you read the story, with that one staff, Moses wrested the rule of Egypt out of the hand of Pharaoh and took it over on behalf of God and brought about the release of Israel. You say, well, I don't have anything. God says, what have you got in your hand? A Bible. That's all you need. Just take that staff and stretch it out. How do you stretch out the staff? By making proclamation of what the Bible says about you. Ruth and I would say, never a day passes without our making proclamation. Sweetheart, we've got about 39 seconds. We'll make 2 Corinthians, no, let's do Deuteronomy 25, all right? Verses 33, 25, all right? This is our proclamation. With this we close. The bolts of our gates will be iron and bronze, and our strength will equal our days. There is no one like the God of Jeshurun, who rides on the heavens to help us, and on the clouds in his majesty. The eternal God is our refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. He will drive out our enemy before us, saying, destroy him. That settles him.